palatial studios at KTNF in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, where old money meets new money, and they have tea and sushi, and they make fun of people with flip phones. You're listening to the Doug Pagitt Radio Show, broadcasting from the Not Quite Right Network. And if you're a regular listener, you might be thinking, wait a minute, something's not quite right here. There's a disturbance in the force. This isn't the Doug Pagitt that I know. Something is missing. Wait a minute, this guy sounds like he only has 2 nipples. And you would be correct, faithful listeners, because Doug is not here. Where's Doug, you may ask? Where is our host? Where's our show's namesake? Where's our show's nom de plume? Well, let me tell you, you sure do ask a lot of annoying questions for being a radio audience that is either hungover, backslidden, or as you drive home from your local church service where you're supposedly already have had all the answers given to you. But yes, Doug is gone again this week. Him and a team of folks have spent a couple of weeks in Guatemala helping people, helping to build homes for people, and I'm doing air quotes here, for coffee growers.
Oh.
Yeah, they're building homes for quote unquote coffee growers in Guatemala. And hopefully they're making their way back home today. And it's our hope that he's able to convince the TSA that those are indeed pounds of coffee that are stuffed into his carry-on bag. I can imagine him waving his finger at the TSA agent like Obi-Wan Kenobi. These are not the mules you were looking for. These are not the mules you're looking for. Well, I am, but fear not, I'm your regular co-host, producer, fallen pastor, polymath, and life coach, John Music, the mystic sidekick, the anti-cynic, holding a mirth clinic here on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. But enough about me, let's talk about you. How do you feel about me? Oh, well, anyway, seriously, folks, I'm not here alone. Through the glass in the control booth, controlling our sound and oxygen supply here in the studio, is Ian the fill-in. How was your weekend, Ian?
It was good. I think I need to start pumping more oxygen into your room there.
That's right. I'm feeling a little flushed here. But, well, hey, we've got a fantastic show for you this week. I'm so excited to be here because joining me in the studio, we have a very special guest host. Our second ever guest host and our first female guest host, holding degrees from Fuller University and the University of Edinburgh in Scotland. We have author, speaker, blogger, Good Morning America Advice Guru finalist, and frequent Twin Cities Live guest, Carla Barnhill.
Woohoo! Thanks. God, it feels a little anticlimactic to not have applause and cheering right then, doesn't it?
Well,
where's Ian on that? Why wasn't there any applause, Ian? Where was my crowd? Thank you. John, I got to make 2 quick corrections in that sweet introduction that you just gave me. 1, it is Fuller Seminary. 2, I did not earn a degree at Fuller Seminary.
Oh, well, maybe if you would have tried harder.
I know, right? And 3, it's pronounced Edinburgh, not Edinburgh.
Well, you know, the way I actually went to the...
I know, it's how it's written. I understand.
There's no "ero" in it. It's "erg."
No, I know. But the Scots say Embra.
Oh, my word.
Right? So that's... Technically, it's the University of Edinburgh.
Yeah, and because we all know they are like the most flexible people around, so you.
Well, they are. They've got a lot going for them, and they are not persnickety in any way.
No, not at all.
They're
not frugal in any sense of the word.
No, and they don't have many opinions about much of anything.
No, they don't.
No.
So good to have you here.
Well, thank you. I'm very excited to be here. We got lots of good stuff going on today.
What's going on in the show today?
Well, first of all, we've got you and me.
Wow.
I mean, and as if that weren't enough, right?
I'm full already.
We are going to hear from, at the top of the next hour, we are going to hear from Dr. Janelle Paris.
Oh, my.
Anthropology professor from Messiah College in Pennsylvania, and she has a new book out.
Well, I have to tell you, after last week, I had about my full with the PhDs.
Yeah.
And I was kind of looking forward to a PhD-free show.
Well, I'm sorry. Here's what you can know about Janelle, is that she's the anti-PhD. She's like a real person who speaks, she speaks in normal words.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's going to be all right. She's got a new book out. I've got it with me right here. I'll show it to you if you're watching on the Ustream. It's The End of Sexual Identity.
Oh, my.
And there will be no end of conversation about this book. She's fantastic, and she's going to be joining us. We're going to hear from Shelley Pagitt in a little bit. Our natural health coach will be joining us in the studio.
That chick is cool.
She is cool. And to keep the nepotism flowing,
yes,
the end of the program, none other than James T. Barnhill III,
Oh, my.
the man to whom I am married, the man who
Really?
puts the Barnhill in Carla Barnhill. He is going to join us to talk about education funding because there is a big, big, big deal bill sitting before the Minnesota House and Senate. And he's going to come in and talk to us a little bit about what's going on with that bill, what the ramifications are, and how people can get involved in having their voice heard.
Well, what would he know anything about?
Well, he is a public school teacher.
Oh, my.
And the recording secretary for the Minneapolis Teachers Union.
Snap.
Right? Okay, so he knows a thing or two. He's been hobnobbing with the hoi polloi.
Yeah.
And he knows his way around the political issues. So he's going to join us at the end of the show. And in between, we're going to talk about all sorts of good stuff.
Great.
Including, John,
What?
less than 2 weeks to go.
Yeah?
Royal wedding.
Oh, you know, I got my invitation in the mail the other day, but
Yeah?
they spelled my last name wrong, so I'm not going.
Really? Really? Did you get a hat and everything? Were you all set?
No, I hadn't quite been outfitted yet.
Oh, well. Then maybe it's for the best. But, you
Yeah.
know, here's what I've been thinking about the royal wedding. I'm getting up to watch it the old-fashioned way.
What was that?
I am not going to watch it later
Oh,
at my convenience.
No.
Because the whole point of this thing
sure.
is to wake up like I did for Charles and Di back in the 80s
Yeah.
and watch the thing live while it happens.
Well, what time is it happening central
It's
here?
like at 11 o'clock their time.
Okay.
So I think it's like at 4 in the morning or something here.
Oh,
I think
my.
it's 3.
Is it 3 in the
'Cause
morning?
I'm aware of a party going on for
Thank
that
you,
very
Ian.
thing.
See,
yes.
I'm so glad to hear that because I've been a little bit sad about the whole deal. It feels like, and maybe it's just me that I don't really live in an orbit where the royal wedding's a big whoop-dee,
Well,
like I
so-
did when I was 15 the
Well, it
last time
sounds
around.
like Ian's got his finger on the pulse of the royal.
Girlfriend.
Or at least he knows people who have their finger on the pulse.
Yes.
Yeah, but I've noticed that there's just not the communal
Yeah.
push for this thing's coming. Like I had to look up when the wedding was. I couldn't have told you the date until yesterday when I finally looked it up. It's on Friday, by the way,
Yeah.
27th.
Well, I think how the Charles and Di thing kind of ended may have like taken a little wind out of the sails.
Well, I think it's a little bit of that, but I think too, this is my theory on it, and I've got a theory about just about everything. So here's my theory on the royal wedding this time
Number
around.
one.
Yep, theory number 1 is that we've got a dispersed attention span, right? We all know this.
Yes.
But back in the
You're telling
80s,
me.
right? Back in the 80s, there was one thing to pay attention to. Like that
Sure.
wedding was the only news we had about anything interesting going on at the time.
Yeah.
Good break in your summer day, right?
Right.
Or your summer, night's sleep, I guess. But now it's like one more wedding, and we see magnificent dresses on all these celebrity weddings. We get big cakes, we get big whoop-dees. It's like, what are they going to do to one up any of that?
Yeah. Right.
Nothing.
I mean, yeah, they're
Like, okay.
really going to have to be a big.
So the
thing.
queen is going to be at your wedding. Woo.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm a little sad that there just isn't this big push like there used to be because we've got this dispersed attention. Because everything is important, nothing is important anymore.
Well, I wonder. My mom, who is elderly, on her coffee table at this very moment.
Does she have a commemorative plate?
Oh well, that's on
Tea
her
set?
on her wall. No.
Towels. What does she got?
Coffee table book that is about as thick as a Bible about the royal wedding.
This one?
No, gosh, no. The die.
Is she into this one? Is she all excited?
I haven't talked to her about it yet.
Well, you need to find out because my
Yeah.
guess is she could care less.
Maybe. Yeah.
Couldn't care less.
Right.
Could not care less
And not
than
just
she
because
does.
she's cynical, Irish, and old.
No. In fact, that might be why she doesn't care. Because she's cynical, Irish, and old. But anyway, it's got me a little bit worked up. And here's the other thing, and this is a little bit of a tangent, but I think it's got the same root cause behind it.
Okay.
This week it was announced, John, that both All My Children and One Life to Live will be going off the air forever.
Yeah, I did
Did
see
you
that.
pay attention to that? Did you
Yeah.
feel a little part of you die?
Well, unfortunately, the past couple of weeks I've had a lot of free time during the day.
Sure.
And
Did you get caught up?
well, we don't have cable, and
Right.
so I saw the offering that network television has during the daytime,
Yeah.
and boy, I don't know.
No, I've been in that position too. When my children were infants, and I was just trying to kill time to get to 5 o'clock when their father came home, and I could hand them over.
Right.
Those soap operas kind of saved my sanity back in the day because we don't have cable either, so my options were pretty limited. And back in college, even back in high school, Greg and Jenny, Liza, Tad, 80s people, you with me on this?
Yeah.
It's all done.
I hear it's really huge in college.
I know. And you know what's beautiful? This is what I love about soap operas, is that I watched them a little bit in high school during summer vacation, a little bit in college, a little bit after we moved to Chicago and I was unemployed,
Okay.
and a little bit when my kids were little. And you know what I loved? Always caught up.
Okay.
Nothing changed very fast. Every
Right.
day they would give you a recap,
Sure.
right? So you tune into the show, you're like, I wonder what's going on. And you know what else?
What's that?
Every week the paper, the newspaper
What?
has an update on the soap operas.
Oh
What other
my.
show do they do that with?
I
Isn't that an odd thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, who updates? But now they're going away. One by one, they're leaving us. We've got,
What's left?
I think General Hospital's still there.
Okay.
I believe The Young and the Restless is still there. I can check with my mother-in-law because she would
Okay.
know. And so I think they're just slowly dying out because the face of daytime television has changed dramatically because people can watch what they want to watch, when they want to watch it.
Yeah, because
We're no longer beholden to the network people.
well, the network probably needs that valuable time for more infomercials.
Well,
on the Magic
exactly.
Bullet and,
There are nut choppers to sell.
That's
and,
right.
And fishing things, and I don't know what else. But anyway, those two things, and finally the trifecta of disappointment for me this week.
Yeah.
The founding editor of Tiger Beat magazine
What?
died this week. Yeah, he was in his 90s, mind you.
Was he still active on the job?
I don't believe he was working for Tiger Beat anymore. No, but where would teenage girls be, young teenage girls be, without Tiger Beat? I tell you, we wouldn't know.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know. But again, the internet, everything else has taken the place. You don't need a magazine to tell you anymore what Justin Bieber is up to.
Well, hey, folks, stay tuned. We've got plenty of great show lined up ahead of us. We've got Janelle Paris, and later on in the show, we have Shelley Pagitt and Jimmy Barnhill, the funniest man I think I've ever met. And it's all here today on the Doug Pagitt Radio Show on KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota.